My next guest is an award-winning film producer and the head of production at Goldcrest Films in New York City. Her new memoir, Flying In, gives us a behind-the-scenes look at the heyday of independent filmmaking in the 1990s. Gretchen McGowan joins me. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Kelly. It's great to be here.
So I imagine you have so many fun and interesting stories from your career. So why did you decide to turn it, though, into a book?
Well, you know, when I was starting out in the industry, there wasn't a book like this, and I was teaching a class recently at Columbia University, and when I started to tell these stories, I saw their eyes open up, and they thought, oh, you know, there's something here, something to tap. And when you go into the bookstores, you read a lot of Hollywood stories. You read about directors who've made it big and producers who've made it big, and you read some of the kind of how-tos, how to make a movie, the nuts and bolts. But I thought there's room there in the world for a book about a producer's experience making independent films.
100%. How did you break into the industry yourself?
It was a rough ride. A lot of shape-shifting and a lot of hustling. So I hustled all my way. I was a spy, I was a nanny, I was a cater waiter. I had a lot of odd jobs, and then in between that I started editorial, working in the editing room, working my way up, kind of learning it through the back door. Started associate producing on documentaries, and then fell into a feature film that I probably had no business making, but had a wonderful time on it, and I got hooked.
Oh, gosh, amazing story. And your book focuses a lot on the 1990s and 2000s, right? So why do you consider that the era, the golden age of independent filmmaking?
Yeah, it really was the golden age because at that time, Wall Street was throwing money at films. They just wanted to be involved in it. They saw the kind of glory of that, of having made a film, taking it to Sundance, skiing down the slopes and saying, I made that. And we were game, right? We were ready to make those films for them. So I thought that was something worth celebrating. It's not happening as much anymore, really. There are fewer and fewer movies being made in this kind of independent world.
And where has this job taken you? I imagine you've been to some pretty cool places.
Yeah, I have. I've had an opportunity to travel places that I otherwise would never have gone to. So I've been to Prague, to Vietnam, a film that we never actually got to make, but somebody did eventually make, but I spent a lot of time there. And I've been to Costa Rica, to all over Europe, of course, so. But it is an opportunity not just to travel, you know, parachute in and out like a journalist might or a tourist. You're heavily immersed in it. You take the deep dive and you spend months and you have dinner at your cruise houses and you get to know people really intimately.
That's the dream.
A lot of those crazy stories in there.
Okay, good. And what's something that you think might surprise people just about the movie making business and process?
I'd say the thing, you know, you plan for months in advance. The longer you have to prep, the better. And yet, the thing that you think is going to go wrong isn't the thing that goes wrong. It's something that comes out of left field, and you have to have had, the more experience you have, the more you can kind of shape shift and figure that out. But those are the challenges, you know, and it's always new. So there's no template for making a movie. You make the template and then it breaks.
Do you have a favorite story on set, or maybe one that you just mentioned that went awry?
You know, it's funny because when I was making Buffalo 66 with Vincent Gallo, the thing I thought was going to go wrong didn't. And that was because here was a director directing his own script and acting in it. I thought, that's a recipe for disaster, right? And I'd never produced anything like that before. That went great. All the confidence in the world, he'd call action, he'd step behind the camera into scene and go. That went beautifully. The things that went wrong I probably can't share in this segment.
No, darn it, okay.
But they're in the book, so people can read about them.
Oh, and where can people find your book then?
It's on bookshop.org, it's on Amazon, and it's on all the normal booksellers.
Do you think anyone that's interested in movies and beyond will be interested in this book then?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do think they will be interested because it is about travel and immersion, about those kind of happy accidents and absurd things that happen to you when you're on the road.
Oh, Wow. Gretchen, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your stories. And you really gave a good tease that I feel like I need to then look in that book for what you're talking about. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Yes. And if you'd like to hear more from Gretchen, she's doing a free discussion tonight at the SIF Film Center located at the Seattle Center. And Elliott Bay Book Company will be there with copies of her book, so that's exciting. Just visit SIF's website for ticket information.